What is up, everybody? We are back. For those of you that don't know, we are Beyond Us. I am Daniel. I am joined by both of my friends this time. Firstly, we got Brett.
I'm back.
And we got Salo.
Bum ba dum bum.
Or John Cena, I guess. And we are here for episode 30. First time all three of us have been together in 3 episodes.
I was confused. Like, where's John Cena? I forgot I can't see him.
Can't see him. But yeah, we are here for episode 30. This is the first time the three of us have been together again in, I think, 3 episodes now. Just because of either tech issues or scheduling conflicts. So it's good to be back. Gentlemen, we'll start with Brett. How have you been over this past, I suppose, month since you weren't here last episode?
Honestly, I wanted to start with Salo. Like, what's your internet situation looking like right now?
Kind of cool.
So,
did you fix it?
I fixed it. I'm on the highest speed gigabyte plan for Spectrum possible. So, I fixed that.
Speed gigabyte plan.
Whatever it was, they upsold the shit out of me, but I bought my own equipment.
When Time Warner Cable changed to Spectrum, I think they forgot how to do internet.
Yeah.
They're the only option that works.
It got so bad.
Yeah. But I've heard it's making its comeback, so.
Well, when you monopolize it,
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't have a choice.
It's kind of how it works.
Have a choice.
You just have dips. You're crappy one time, you're not crappy the other.
But no,
nobody has a choice.
His internet held up pretty well in the last episode.
I was beginning to think it was a hardware issue, and I don't know if it is still, maybe a little bit, because I'm only getting 3 bars on my desktop, but the router is in the other room. Every other device, it's complete power, everything, all bars. But it's good signal now. It's just weird.
I mean, it could be a hardware issue. If you don't have a dedicated Wi-Fi adapter, and if it's just built-in Wi-Fi, maybe that piece of hardware itself isn't that great,
right?
And could look into upgrading to a new one.
Could also
I could just buy like a Bluetooth stick.
Could also just look into getting a signal booster.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yep.
Something to plug into your room.
Or just move someplace that has some culture. You know?
That's true too.
Right.
It's true too.
Apparently, the street
instead of down in the booth
that way has Google Fiber, but this street does not. So
Google Fiber.
I still sent it. Yeah, they have Google Fiber. I don't have it, but they're my neighbors. It's crazy.
Yeah, so he's in a place where they have street wars. So it's kind of like when you were a kid, right? And you would go around and like one area had like a group of kids on bikes, right? And they kind of hung out together. You know, you didn't want to be in the middle of the road when they were going because you didn't know if they were going to hit you. But then like the street over, they had sticks. For some reason, they had the best trees. And they'd have like these sticks that it was almost like they came walking around with swords.
Oh my God.
And so there was this weird street war between these children. It's kind of like that, except one side for him, they don't have internet. His side. It doesn't. Yeah, his side. His side doesn't have internet. The other side has internet.
I feel bougie for having Xfinity now.
I am jealous of Xfinity.
Like, I feel bougie.
The problem is, Salo doesn't have any benefits on his side. It's just like he just has it. It's just there. The other side is clearly better.
And
he's not winning the war in any regard.
He's not winning the fight, the battle, the war.
And like, I tried to buy my own equipment on Amazon, and I made sure it was like the gigabyte fiber router, and I made sure the actual like modem was a high quality one and everything. I assembled it all together.
The box said you have to have internet to use.
No. So I called Spectrum, and these motherfuckers were like, "This shit is not compatible. It's not for 1 gigabyte internet."
Box says does not include internet. It's like that toy you get when you're a kid, but it doesn't include the batteries.
I remember when we used to grab a CD, a disc, put it into your computer, and you'd have internet. It was those AT&T discs I remember back in the day. And then since you already, yeah, it's real. We used to go to the different mailboxes and open them to see if there was a AT&T like a free trial of it.
Brett, can I talk to you in the kitchen real quick?
Yeah.
Did this motherfucker just say something about putting discs in his computer for internet?
Yeah.
You could steal motherfuckers' internet out the mail?
Hey, hold on.
Out the mail?
Brett.
What? How does that?
Have you ever heard of that?
Are you guys serious?
No. I've never. So
give me
I've heard of
second.
software, right? You take a disc, you stick it into your computer, you can download software.
Yeah.
All right. I understand it wasn't like
back in the
great
day.
back
You could
then.
use discs to like get Microsoft Word.
Back in the day when you got a laptop, it had a disc reader in it. Like,
Facts.
That like
you watch a
I've
movie.
heard of that shit. I've also heard of like you pick up the phone and all of a sudden the internet turns off. I've heard of that because it came through.
I've dealt with that.
Yeah. All right. So at what point between dial-up and fiber did they say, "Yo, let's put internet on a fucking CD"? When did that happen? Because I wasn't alive.
It was right around the same time they put it on a floppy disk, apparently.
Motherfucker, like if it's between that, I died. They did it, and I came back. Like I'm missing a chunk of my life.
Apparently. All right, we can get out of the kitchen now.
No. Look, check the link that I just sent on there. Check.
I don't. Hold on.
This can't be real.
Wait a minute. You sent me a link to eBay. What?
Yeah, because they're real, motherfucker. Feast your eyes, bitch.
Hold on. What is this? About this item.
This is in my subconscious, dude. I remember this shit.
It's an AOL membership.
America Online.
AOL.
And then they also used to have a floppy disk version, but they did have a disc version.
I was joking about the floppy disk. I was joking.
They did have a floppy disk. Vintage America AOL floppy disk. I swear to you, it's in my fucking memories, bro.
Hold on. How
does it give you internet?
I don't know. I was a kid. I didn't give a fuck. I just put that bitch in there, and I don't know what would happen. Of course, you would still connect. You would obviously still connect the fucking wire to your telephone. You know what I mean? Like through the fucking modem.
That's what was giving you the internet.
But that shit would activate it, and it would have free trials on that disc, and it would be amazing.
Salo, I feel like you're remembering this wrong, dog.
No, not at all. Not at all.
AOL wasn't an internet service provider.
Oh my god. Anywho,
they weren't an internet provider though. They were like software providers, like internet security, firewalls, email. I don't know. We gonna look more into this after this episode.
Look, I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna come like in class. I'm gonna come back with my notes.
All right, yeah.
Next time we come to class with my citations. All right.
Yo, Brett. Salo gonna come back next episode and be like, "I was wrong."
I was wrong. I want to apologize to me and my entire family. I messed up. I made a mistake.
Brett looks like he had a revelation.
I want a 3-panel poster board on how this disc gives you 700 free hours of internet. I want this. I need this because this doesn't make any goddamn sense.
At all. Let's move on. Brett, how have you been?
Bad. Starting today, I've been bad.
How about before today?
Better than bad.
Shitty.
What the fuck?
All right. That shit don't add up.
Holy shit.
You broke Brett's brain, Salo.
It is.
I can't focus. All I can think about is trying to figure out how this works.
All right, let's find some common ground. Let's find some common ground. Let's just let's answer our questions for the week.
Okay.
We got 2. We got one from Murphy and one from Amber.
Okay.
All right, who do we want first?
A for Amber because it's first in the alphabet and I'm not biased.
All right, good enough. All right. So Amber said, "I want to be the kind of stupid rich that Mr. Beast is, to do so many things, including and most importantly, help other people. So, if you had that kind of cash, what are some of the first things you would do with that money?" I feel like, Amber, you've deadlocked us into an answer of help other people. Otherwise, we look like dickheads because you said that was the first thing you would do. So if we don't have that as our first answer, we look like pieces of shit.
Does family count as other things?
Oh, I'm gonna be real. Yes. I'd help the fuck out of family. I'd be like Dom Toretto up in this motherfucker, bro.
Everybody would have a Mustang.
Family. I don't know.
Oh man.
I mean, if I was Mr. Beast rich, hold on. How rich is Mr. Beast rich?
Oh.
Let's check. Mr. Beast net worth. Mr. Beast, oh my God, 105 million?
Bro, I bet that man's net worth fluctuates on a weekly basis. From, we'll say 5 million is the base. 1 week it goes up to 10. The next week it drops down to 2. And then he puts a video out and it goes back up to 15.
It goes up to 30. So he drops that shit down to 7. And then it goes up to 148. All right, so let's just say 100 million. That's how much money you're looking at. What's the first 5 things you do, Brett?
Honestly, I think it might depend on whether or not how much people know I have this money.
Nobody
knows
you have this money.
Just you.
It's just me.
You know you have this money.
Honestly, I would first assist certain members of my family. The closer members, the ones that I know aren't going to send this around the world. As long as they sign an NDA. Yeah, because the flock of people that you didn't think were in your life that would become in your life out of nowhere once you get a bunch of money is crazy. So, I'd want to minimize that as possible, or at least blockade it for a little bit and try to assist certain people with what I know they need help with, starting with family. I would definitely give a large portion to charity. And to be completely transparent, that is not so much just because, hey, now with this question I look like a shitty person. A little bit because of this question I kind of look like a shitty person if I don't do this. But it's also smart in terms of taxes.
Yeah.
And I think that would be... might make me sound like a dick, but that would in fact be the driving force in me putting a bunch of money into charity. I don't know which charity I would donate that money to. Yeah, so I don't necessarily know about that. But after I handle a few more tasks after that I think require my direct attention, then I would start figuring out other people to share that wealth with.
I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like I know what the very first thing you do is if you had $100 million suddenly fall into your bank account.
Probably get a manager, right? A manager?
For you specifically, it's get out of the Air Force.
Grease up some hands, my brother.
Probably not right away.
Really?
That's not going to be the first thing I do.
I feel like it'd be the first thing you do.
Unless it was forced upon me right out the gate because they know, that would not be the first thing I do.
Okay.
I would try to live a relatively normal life for the first few to several months.
Okay. Salo, what would you do? 100 million.
So I would pay off my, so I am only close with my close family. I don't really know my distant family.
Right.
So this makes this question a lot easier because my family here is my aunts, my uncles, and it's only the ones from my mom's side of the family. Mm-hmm. So that's a very small group of people I can just help financially a little bit, very little bit. But what I really want to do for my family is buy property. So the first thing I would do is buy property for myself and buy houses and properties for my families where they can kind of live, even if they waste the money, even if, because I'm not giving no money anymore. I'm just going to cap it. So you're going to have the house, you're going to own the property. Nobody can take that away from you. That's my contribution. I'm done. And like Brett said, I guess the question is framed weird because it kind of is insinuating that we should donate to charity, but I have had like thoughts in my head working for charities or even doing like the financial section of charities, organizations working for nonprofits. So I think I'd consider starting a nonprofit based on feeding people in America and obviously expending there. Yeah.
In reference to what you were saying about family and like the land.
Yeah.
Would you buy land and specifically give it to them, like all the documentation that says it's theirs, or would you buy land and allow your family? Yeah, it's yours, and they're allowed to do what they want to do on that land. Like if they can live there. You have a bunch of different property for your family to stay at, but you retain ownership of the land.
It kind of depends. I feel like at the beginning I would want to own it and just have them live there and see how the behavior is. You think so? Because
that's a lot of responsibility on you.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you just pick 10 people. 9 people, including yourself.
Yeah.
That's 10 properties that suddenly you're going to have to be balancing mortgage payments and...
No, I would pay everything. I would pay everything.
Okay.
So there would be no mortgage on the home.
Well, you'd still have property taxes.
Yeah, of course.
Like
so I think
taxes.
With that, I honestly think with that good point, I would just this is maybe give you $100K, pay off your debts. You have a house, and done.
So I really like that. I almost say what I would do, kind of both, almost kind of like when you get a car and you need a cosign. I would put their name and my name on that house and say, here,
give partial ownership.
You fuck up. This hurts you just as much as it hurts me, so don't fuck up.
Fair.
Yeah, because something I was thinking about is if you give them a piece of land, there's no guarantee that they can afford to pay for that property every so often that comes up. Because if it's under them, they have to be able to fund and take care of it and pay taxes on it. It's almost like when you buy someone like a really nice car. Like, here's this really nice car. It's under your name now. Well, I don't know if I can, like pay for that every month.
If it's paid off, it's not a problem.
Not as much of a problem. But then there's also insurance, and depending on the car, that insurance could be higher.
Sure, but at any point so mainly with property taxes for a night. So here's an example. My grandmother has a really nice house in a really nice part of Maryland, and she owns the house, and she's talked about like when she passes who she's going to leave the house to, and she's even said, I got to be smart about who I leave the house to because they got to be able to afford the property tax. And I'm like, well, how much is the property tax? And she's like, it's like $8,000 a year, and that's for a really nice house in a really nice part of Maryland. If your property tax is $8,000 in the upper up of a state, and that's $8,000 a year, that is averaging less than $1,000 a month.
$670, around there.
If you can't put away $800 a month, I'm not buying you a house. I'm giving you money.
You deserve to
in an apartment. I'm not putting you outside of your means and setting you up for failure.
Honestly, if I give you a house and you can't do $700 monthly payments or to save away to pay your taxes at the end of the year, beginning of the year, you deserve to go through the experience of losing a house that you didn't pay for.
Like,
it'll be a good learning experience.
In the house. I'm gonna give you a lump sum of money to take care of yourself, and I'm gonna put you in a cheap apartment.
Nah, let them foreclose on it. I'll even get the house on cheap through foreclosure. I'll buy it back.
No, I like that plan. I mean, for the most part, yeah. So for me, I would do something similar. For the most part, I mean, I would $100 million. I'd put $1 million in a trust fund for each of my siblings that are under 18. For my siblings that are over 18, I would just hand them $1 million and be like, here, don't fuck it up. This is your get out of jail free card for whatever you got. School debt.
And for your children, if you do it right.
Shit. Now, like, here's the thing. My oldest sister, she ain't going to need my money. My oldest sister, she's almost done with college, and she's going to be making bank. Like, stupid bank. She's going to be making more than all three of us combined. Like, it's gonna be disrespectful as fuck. She gonna be.
What's her major?
Some kind of engineering. I think it's mechanical engineering.
Oh yeah, dude, they make dumb money.
Yeah, and her girlfriend's going to school for psychology. Like, they're finna be loaded, like dumb loaded. But I would still give her $1 million. I love her just as much as I love the others. They all get $1 million. Take care of themselves. I'd pay off my close family's debt. You know, any debt that my close family has, I would just eliminate that, give everybody a fresh start. I'd buy a house. I'd buy probably 2 cars, one for regular driving and one for fancy driving. Got to get me that 67 Impala. And I'd put minimum 50 mil, half of it, in a bank account that can build up like a 10% interest rate. Because then I can live off that $500,000 a year.
So, I'm not sure what our thought process is in terms of this prompt, but if this is just money given to us, realistically, we have to show that when it comes to tax season.
Yeah.
And if there's anything I've learned from like interviews with celebrities and stuff like that, you should save half of your money, assuming I say half. There's a certain percentage that you put to the side, and you assume that you don't have that money anymore.
37%.
You're going to have to give it. Is it 37?
For anything over $1 million. For anything under $1 million, it's 27%.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much money I set aside with my self-employment money as a streamer. 27%. But just assume a third. That's $33 million, rounded up to $35 million. That goes away. That still leaves you with $65 million. With $65 million, I can very easily put $50 million in the bank, give my 5 siblings $1 million, and have $10 million to eliminate debt, buy a house, buy 2 cars, and still have a really fun year. And obviously, because I'd be a dick if I didn't put it in there, I would also donate to a charity.
Donate to my charity, guys.
Are you sure?
I'm going to create a charity. Just donate to mine.
You seem pretty occupied with all this other stuff you wanted to do. Yeah. Are you sure you would donate to charity?
I would.
Yes.
Do you actually care about the little man?
No, I don't give a shit. Fuck them kids.
You need a publicist.
All right. Well, this sounds like a good moment to plug in the charity.
Yeah. So as we've talked about, I'm doing my charity stream.
Fuck those kids.
Yeah, fuck them kids. I was saying that the whole time the other day. So my charity stream started. Well, my stream is next Friday, but charity month, people can go on my website, donate $5, make me eat a bean boozled. And so I got to spin the wheel, eat a bean. And I was fucking doing that. And at one point, some people were like, Pip, you want to eat another bean? It's for charity. And they're like, it's for the kids. And I'm like, man, fuck them kids. I don't want to eat another one of these motherfuckers. But no, I would definitely donate to charity if I had that kind of money. I also like the idea of Apollo. I don't know why I said Apollo. That's how I looked over at my cup and saw the Creed cup, and it made me think of Apollo.
I was just about to say, were you thinking of Creed?
I looked over and saw my Creed cup, and it made me think of Apollo Creed. I like what Salo said with
Apollo.
Apollo. With starting your own thing. I would definitely start something for veterans. I don't think veterans get enough love. And with Wounded Warrior Project definitely on the downslide, there needs to be a new thing for veterans.
Yeah.
But no, like, I would definitely donate to charity, obviously. If I wouldn't be somebody that would donate to charity, I wouldn't be doing charity streams, trying to raise money for charities. Suffering through being boozled. But
because jelly beans are just the worst.
Fuck you, Brett. You know the pain that these jelly beans have caused me. You made me eat so many last year.
Did you hear what happened to Amber?
Oh yeah, she told me.
What happened to Amber?
Brett happened to Amber. Amber is doing a subathon all month, trying to raise money on her stream, and she's got different goals where she's got she also has Bean Boozled, I believe, and she's got to do like workout exercises and all kinds of things. And Brett just went in there and just was like, donate, 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 donate. And made her eat multiple beans, do a bunch of squats, do some planks, do just with your upset tummy because you ate these fucking Bean Boozled.
Oof.
I think I dropped in over the course of 5 minutes. I just threw out 30 gifted subs and left.
30?
That's evil.
I think it was 30.
Dude. That's a lot.
So she has her tracker of how many gifted subs. I saw it and I'm just like, man, I gotta get to the even 100.
30 is a lot.
It was too tempting.
When you think about how much exercises she was doing for that, oh my god, she hated me.
Oh yeah, I heard all about it. But there you go, Amber. That's what we would do with our money for the most part. There's obviously more things. Also, Amber told me to ask you this. When are her video game videos coming?
When they get done.
All right, there you go, Amber. All right, so we have one other question. Murphy asked, who wins, Legolas versus Hawkeye?
Hawkeye.
Legolas.
Magic boy.
Hawkeye is human. He might be the peak of human ability, but he is human. He has no meta powers.
Elf boy got some powers.
And Legolas is a warrior of 3,000 plus years with levels of ability that just supersede what Hawkeye can do.
Okay, let me be clear on how much I know about Legolas. I only know about the shit that he's done in the movies. So that's the only reference I'm using in his capability. And just in terms of prowess with the bow, Hawkeye showed that he was way better. Again, I don't know any other content Legolas is in. Hawkeye was better with the bow. Hawkeye has so many more tricks up his sleeve in terms of his arrows of shit that you just can't account for. With Hawkeye, his technology is so advanced, it damn well might as well be magic. And it's stuff that there's no way someone like Legolas could comprehend because it's something that has not existed in his world.
I still say Legolas. So even with just the movie. So like I rewatched the first two Lord of the Rings movies over the past 2 days because of this question. I haven't gotten to the third one yet. But like even just in the movies, the things Legolas is doing are bar none in like just beyond impressive. Now, yeah, I think Hawkeye might be slightly better with the bow. I do. But Legolas isn't just a bow user. Now, granted, Hawkeye's not just a bow user either. He was Ronin, but he was Ronin for 2 years. Legolas was fucking up people with them twin blades for 1,000 years. 1,000.
That is true. And ideally, if they were to go against each other, Hawkeye would not have the sword.
No.
Yeah, you'd have to...
It would be Hawkeye versus Legolas, not Ronin.
Hawkeye,
and even if he had the sword, he still would take an L. Yeah. Ronin versus Legolas wouldn't even be fair. Legolas would wash the fuck out of him.
No, Hawkeye definitely needs his bow.
But Hawkeye needs his bow. But here's the thing. The things that Legolas does in just the movies, we're not even counting source material where he was made to be an even bigger problem. Just in the movies, he has gone as far as hitting multiple targets with one drawstring, like pulling 2 arrows, hitting multiple targets, both bullseyes, hitting moving targets, running away from them when they're at their most dangerous, hitting arrows with other arrows, like mid-flight, like, oh shit, arrow, bop, gone, knocks the arrow out of the sky, to things where in the books, there's an actual moment where he ran out of arrows and started catching arrows that were being shot at his allies out of the sky to shoot them back at the sender. That's pretty badass. Beyond a fucking problem.
That's pretty badass.
Like, he was actively swiping his hand and catching 3 arrows at a time. And just like, Like, there's a scene there's like a passage in the book I vividly remember where it says, like, with a foul swoop of his hand, he swept 3 arrows out of the sky at once, and in one fluid motion deposited them back into his quiver and pulled one out to send back at the shooters. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute! Like, that's not fair! That's cheating!
Yes, it is.
That is cheating.
Yes, it is.
And
that's cheating in a video game. Could you imagine a game, especially you who loves who gets stuck with the bow all the time?
Yeah, fucking typecast.
Yeah, you love it.
I don't.
Yeah, you love
I don't.
it.
I'm so
Could you
tired
imagine
of it.
you shoot one of the enemies and that you do no damage just to see them shoot your arrow back at you?
I'd be offended. I'd be heavily offended. I'd be like, when do I learn that skill? Where's that skill point?
So I know this is only like, as far as I know, it's only canon to like the cinematic universe. How much do you think Hawkeye pulling out that gigantic arrow?
Oh, the Pym particle one?
Yo, how much would that fuck somebody up from Middle Earth?
Gigantic arrow.
I mean, if it hits him.
You talking about things that you're not expecting to happen.
I mean, look, if it hits him, yeah.
It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
But, I'll tell you this. I have watched Legolas dodge some crazy shit. I've watched him dodge cannonballs. I've watched him dodge dragons. I've watched him fight like 14 orcs by himself, just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, he don't give a shit. He dodging the shit he's not even looking at. Like, and if we're being completely honest, MCU Hawkeye is way better than comic book Hawkeye.
We're not sponsored by Sprite. I just want to make that perfect.
Although, if Sprite wants to change that,
we are here, and it's refreshing.
I drink the fuck out of some Sprite.
A Truman Show bit where you just like...
But MCU Hawkeye is way better than comic book Hawkeye. Because they had to make him better.
I do feel like that is the case. Yeah.
Because if they didn't, he wouldn't have been as interesting. He would have been
Usually it's the other way around. Usually the MC version is a lot better. No, the comic book version is a lot better than the MCU version.
Because generally you have to downscale from the comic
to make them
to be believable.
But when you have a regular everyday human, you got to make them better. Like, I think when it comes to in this argument, Hawkeye versus Legolas, I think when it comes to melee combat, it's an easy sweep for Legolas.
Yep.
When it comes to like archery as a base skill, I think it's very close. I think they're both peak archers.
I feel like because of the history of Legolas just being so old, I have to give it to Legolas. Just mastering something over decades, eons.
I would lean towards that because of combat experience, but I would also lean towards Hawkeye because of updated technique, updated form, updated equipment. Like, he's using a compound bow. He's not using an old recurve bow.
Means nothing to me. But
like, a mechanical compound bow is just automatically going to be more of a problem than a wooden bow.
Mm.
So, like, all his drawstring pulls are assisted, realistically.
Well, so here's the thing.
And
according to the comics, his draw power is dumb. There have been conversations that Hawkeye might actually be superhuman, because there's a thing in the comics where when he hands his bow to, or someone else takes his bow and tries to use it, they can't pull the cord, like, they can't pull the drawstring back. And they're like, what tension do you have this set at? And they look at it, and it's set to a 600-pound pull.
Oof.
Which is
that sounds heavy.
Ridiculous. like, that's dumb.
Shit, maybe he does have superpowers.
Yeah. But it's all in the bow. He has a magic bow, is what I'm thinking. But only he can activate it. But
I mean, Yeah, anything's possible.
Hand to hand, Legolas. Archery, similar. Tech, Hawkeye. Overall, fair, clean, one-on-one, like they both get teleported out of their timelines and put in an arena. I'm giving it to Legolas all day. All day. You give Hawkeye prep time, he got a way better chance. But you pull them, you just pluck them both and say, fight. I'm giving it to Legolas, for sure. For sure.
It's fair.
Because Hawkeye's just a purple-green arrow. Because they got the same shtick. They got trick arrows.
It's true.
They're a human on their team of superhuman friends. Except for the super rich tech wizard. Oh, Iron Man or Batman. Like, the Justice League and the Avengers are the same team. I said it. They have all the same characters, just with different reskins. Thor, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I love. I see it every so often.
How dare you?
How dare I what?
Comes up of.
Am I wrong?
That's funny. No, I just never thought of it.
Thor and Wonder Woman are the same character almost.
That's funny.
They're both from ancient mythologies. They're both the child of a god that was led astray.
I don't know why Salo seemed so offended.
He did. He was like, "How dare you?"
I just never would have.
I was confused because, like, I was saying something, and I'm just like, "Did I say something wrong?" Like,
it was.
This man was just on a delayed.
It cracked my worldview. It was like, wow. That's crazy. Right. Anyways, moving on.
All right, yeah, let's move on. Okay. Hey guys, you heard about this movie coming out in June called The Blackening?
No. Typing away. Blackening.
Oh, let me explain it before you look it up, Salo.
Okay, not looking.
It is a movie that I was convinced was a Jordan Peele movie, but it is not. Mm-hmm. It is a horror comedy, I think, combating the trope of how black characters die first in horror movies. When a group of all black friends go to a cabin in the woods and then are terrorized by a serial killer who tells them that they need to rank themselves on blackest to decide who dies first.
It's got to be a comedy, right?
I am not joking.
It gots to be.
Brett is looking at me like I'm a psycho. I vividly remember in the commercial that I watched for this. Brett, we will watch it together after this. I vividly remember there being a part where the group goes, well, we can't all die first. I swear to God, I thought it was Jordan Peele's attempt at a comedy.
Oh, it's real.
Yes, it's real. It's coming out Juneteenth weekend.
This man was like, oh, this looks real.
It is real. It's called The Blackening.
Let's see.
Oh, my God.
Brett, it almost looks like Cabin in the Woods meets a Wayans Bros movie.
By Dwayne Perkins. The heck is Dwayne? Comedian, writer, actor, producer in Chicago. Interesting. Don't know.
This is a real movie.
I feel like I have to see it.
I do too. It's just so ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
And Eternal and I were talking about it.
They can't all die first.
Eternal and I were talking about it on my stream, and we were talking, and I was like, I don't know what's going to be worse, if the killer is also black or if the killer is a white guy. Because if the killer is a white guy, this is super racist.
I feel like if the killer is anything but a black guy.
So Eternal said, if he's black, isn't it racist? He's still just killing black people. And I'm like, kinda, but I think it's less.
So it's racist either way?
All right, I want to be perfectly clear. This is not me justifying a guy killing somebody and trying to say he's not racist, but
but it really is.
in this particular situation, if this serial killer only has black people as a target, like that's the only target pool existence, like there's only black people there. I don't know if that necessarily
they
makes
just
him
happen
racist.
to be there.
It's not to say he's not a bad person.
Hold on.
He doesn't have the option to choose a
combat
different race
that,
to kill,
to
right?
combat that, no
You
matter
throw
what
in
color
some white
this killer is, to combat that, his method is to make them pick who's the blackest.
Yes, racist detected. I agree.
All right, it's low key a little racist.
So no matter what, it's a little racist.
It's
Here's
a
the
little
problem.
racist.
If it's a white guy, it's backlash levels of racist. Like,
yes,
agreed?
yo,
Yes.
watch Today's Society.
I would join
get a
Twitter.
Fictional character canceled. Like watch that.
I'm serious.
Twitter, I'm looking at you.
Not the movie. They don't get the movie canceled. They get that motherfucker canceled.
Never worked in
Somehow.
Hollywood again.
I almost hope it's one of them.
I think it will be.
don't-
When you said
know.
said something about the character probably better at being a black person, I'm like, it's probably one of them.
I don't know. Although I do know that the trailer looks ridiculous, and I can't remember how the argument about who's the blackest and who's not the blackest goes. But there is one guy who is definitely like the love child of Carlton and Steve Urkel, and everyone just looks at him and he's like, they're all like, yeah, well, he's not. And I'm just like, oh my god.
So fucked.
But I think he might have actually been the blackest, like the darkest skin tone. And they were all like, he's not, because he's Carlton. It was so dumb.
That's so weird.
It looks bad. I kind of want to see it. I love bad horror movies. I saw Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. I really enjoyed it.
I did not watch that.
I
You
did.
saw it
I saw it in theaters the night it came out.
in theaters.
Yeah.
You paid money for that?
You're damn right. It was great. I had a great time. I was laughing my ass off. Yo, Winnie the Pooh was a savage. He was fucking people up.
Okay.
It was so bad.
Winnie the Pooh.
Anyway. So yeah, we'll watch the trailer for The Blackening. After this.
We just gotta stop saying the name.
It's so fucked up.
It's not an okay name.
Anywho.
It's definitely not okay as the first movie. Now, as the second movie, sure.
As like
it has
a
some-
suffix.
yeah.
Like
you know,
like
The Black.
Murder in the Woods, the blackening.
Murder in the
See,
Woods 2,
it
the
sounds-
blackening, yeah. It actually, that makes it sound kind of worse, for being honest. For being totally honest.
The Blackening, the Returning.
Well, see, what you do is in the first movie, they were killing only white people, and then in the second movie, that's when they kill only black.
So in the
people.
third movie, do they move on to like Hispanic?
Yes.
Well, that's
It'll
a good
be
question.
called
Do you think they'd move? Here we go, Salo. For you, would they move on to Hispanic or Asians? I'm putting you on the spot here.
Hispanics.
But who do you think should die first?
The Texas Massacre. Hispanics. Oh, wait, no, there's already a Chainsaw movie about that. Never mind. Got that. Never mind. Gotta pick another one.
No, no hesitation.
No, we're moving on.
This man was like, nah, the Hispanic should die first. This man said no hesitation.
Moving on.
It's a good transition from the United States across the border. Just
on.
better seamless transition.
Moving on.
I will say you were the only one here that was allowed to answer that question
Yep.
the way you did.
Yep. Moving on.
It was crazy. Lack of hesitation.
Speaking of racism, so
Do you really want to use racism as the segue?
I mean that's what this other topic is literally about. So yeah.
You came prep with a lot of black things, didn't you?
Hold on. This guy's black.
Never think about it.
These people are black. That's it. I got 2 more.
Okay, go.
I definitely got more white people in here.
Well, continue.
Anywho, all right. So apparently this is from 2019, but I'm just now hearing about it. I can't remember her name, but a woman and her 2 kids went to Starbucks in like 2019, I think is the year, and they were all black, and they're in the parking lot. I think it was either the parking lot or the drive-thru, and these police officers come up to their car, and basically tell them that they're looking for black men that have been breaking into cars. Now, keep in mind, this is a black woman and her 2 daughters. And these cops are like, we're looking for black men. And then detain them because they might be associated with said black men they're looking for. Tell her to give them her ID. She refuses, which she is allowed to do under her 4th Amendment rights because they have no reason to be interrogating her. They made her get out of her car. They handcuffed her and her 2 daughters, put them in the back of police cars, and then searched her car. This all took an hour before they were let go. And then they were just let go and like, oh, our bad. And the cops just left. So this mom and her 2 daughters sued. They are getting $8.5 million.
Whoa.
Good. Exactly. Now, the thing that I saw then asked, and of course it was a white person saying it because they can't actually relate. Because we can't relate to that kind of horror. But this white person then asked, I mean, it's horrible. We know it's horrible. But would you deal with an hour of that trauma for $8.5 million? Because I'd be like, handcuff the fuck out of me. And I'm like, I mean, here's the thing. You're not afraid for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in that moment, she was afraid for her children.
Yeah, she was scared.
You know,
like, there's a difference. Like, would I let someone just handcuff me and put me in the back of a cop car for an hour for $8 million? Of course I would. Why wouldn't I?
Now, what if that? Now, if that started happening, you didn't know there was an $8 million payout.
I'd be very upset. But I also don't think I would be scared for my life.
No, not nowhere near as much as her and her children were.
But isn't that crazy?
So
also, those cops, still cops.
Most people know, like what you said, where like you don't. So the whole you don't have to provide identification, that is a state law, right? Like that's different by the
federal.
State.
That's the 4th Amendment.
I've seen so many videos of cops get pissed. I don't get it. Yeah,
I'm fairly confident in South Carolina it was a law that you had to carry around identification with you.
You have to have identification so that if you need to be identified, you can be.
But you don't have to reveal your identity.
Hang on. Do you not have to reveal your identity only if it's not appropriate? Like, you decide that they're bullying you if
there's no plausible cause.
There was no reason for her to give over the ID. The 4th Amendment, 4th Amendment to the United States Constitution prohibits unreasonable search and seizure.
Which would be
what that was.
You
taking your ID for no reason. She had the right to say no. So here's the thing. When it comes to traffic stops, by law and the Constitution, your amendments are going to oversee any state laws every time. Every time. State laws don't mean shit if they contradict the amendments. If you get stopped in a traffic stop for whatever reason, and the cop says, "Give me your license," you can say, "I do not have to provide that until you provide me with the reason I have been stopped." Until they provide you with the reason they are searching you,
you don't have to provide it.
Do not have to provide ID. The second that they give you reason, you do. That's the difference. And that's the thing that I think a lot of cops don't understand either, is they want to tiptoe around it because they're bullshit traffic stopping, because they're fishing for tickets.
Because they need to get their quota up.
And these smarter people are like, no, I don't have to give you my ID. And they're like, yes, you do. You haven't given them a reason to have to give you their ID yet. The minute they say, I pulled you over for speeding, I need to see your license to make sure you're allowed to be driving this car.
So something I found out is really big right now is like auditors.
Yeah.
And so like there are people that will quote unquote audit police interactions and arrests. Like they'll go and kind of purposely tiptoe the line, be an asshole and put themselves in a position where a cop might do something that they're not supposed to do, specifically to get it on record and audit them and potentially get them fired.
Which is fine.
And there's a huge community right now of auditors and videos like that are like on YouTube and TikTok.
Now here's the thing. That's fine. Here's the problem. The minute that they start breaking the law, it's no longer fine.
Right.
Like, if the auditor's just being a dick, like, I don't have to do that. Yeah. You can't tell me what to do. Like, you can be as ignorant as you want. The minute you're actually trespassing, you are breaking the law.
No, you are. There are also a subsection of this group of auditors auditing the auditors.
Yeah. What?
I'm saying, like,
really?
Hey, was this person like legally able to do what they were doing when they were spouting off, like, based off of this, and this, I'm allowed to do this?
The thing that's been driving me nuts, or not even driving me nuts, but just I watch and I'm like, what is happening? Is the people who are driving around and they get pulled over for a traffic stop or whatever it may be, and they say they don't have to provide something or they don't have to have a driver's license because they're a member of the free society or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've seen videos of them.
They don't recognize that they're part of the United States. They're part of their own governing society, and therefore the United States laws don't apply to them, and they don't have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle, and they don't have to have a state ID. They don't have to follow the laws.
Those are the worst people.
Like, then you don't have to be in America. Bounce.
Yeah, because this is our territory. What the fuck? Get out. Bye.
Well, here's my thing. I'm American. Like, fuck this free society made-up, make-believe shit. I'm American. I can't go to Italy and say, Italian laws don't apply to me. I'm American.
I'm a free Italian global sovereign citizen.
Dickhead, then.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I've heard of those. I've seen those videos. They're
It's insane.
And it's like they're provoking even more so than the people who don't want to show ID. They're purposely going out the way. I'm like, oh, I'm glad you asked about the free society of the republic that I believe in.
Let me tell you all about it. I don't want your preachy shit. If I wanted that, I would have answered the door when the Jehovah's Witness showed up.
Mm-hmm. And even then, they won't talk to me.
Like, it's just like, I don't understand why people think that... I've said it time and time again, and this goes for everything. This goes for ethnicity. This goes for, what country you're from, how you grew up, what religion you're in, what your gender is, who you're attracted to, all of it. It goes for everything that could have to do with the makeup of a person, their personality, and everything about them. Your shit is not more important than mine, and my shit is not more important than yours. Get the fuck out of my face, and I won't get in yours. I don't care if you're Catholic, Jewish, Muslim, any other fucking religion. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, or any other ethnicity. I don't care if you're American, Canadian, Mexican, or from Europe, or Africa, or Asia, or anything else. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. At the end of the day, we all eat the same, we all shit the same, we all bleed the same. Get the fuck out of my face with your bullshit. Why do we care so much? Who cares? In 1,000 years... that guy that's completely different than me, that black guy from Canada that was Jewish versus this white guy from America that is Norse pagan. In 1,000 years, you're going to put his skeleton next to my skeleton and not be able to tell a fucking difference. Not a single one. Unless he was taller.
Or you etch, like, Nordic runes into
my bones? How?
His bones.
That'd be kind of dope. I'm not going to front. But, like, you see what I'm saying, though. And I don't understand why more people don't see that. I don't understand why we care so much. Who cares? Why do we care so much about the color of the skin? Why do we care so much about who you're attracted to? Who cares? If they want to suck dick, let them suck dick. If they want to eat pussy, let them eat pussy. Who cares? If they want to do both at the same time, good for you. High five. You're a champion. You can pull one of each. Go you. Who cares? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I don't understand it. And it keeps happening, and it keeps getting major publicity, and it keeps getting shoved down everybody's throats because people care so much about it. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's time for people to grow up. And it's mostly Americans. Let's be honest. It's mostly Americans.
I think America publicizes it more.
I
don't think it's mostly Americans.
I don't think it's mostly Americans that think like that. It's mostly Americans that vocalize it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't give a shit what you think. Think what you want to yourself. Keep it in your head. That's not my problem. When I have to hear about it, then it's my problem. Think what you want. I don't give a shit. There are plenty of people that don't like me. I know they think it. I don't care. That's not my problem. Bounce.
Bounce.
Yo, speaking of thoughts that I did not expect to hear.
I thought he was about to say, speaking of not liking Daniel.
That's where I thought this was headed. I was like, whoa.
None of you should.
That's facts.
That's a complete.
Yeah, let's save that for another time.
So, you guys know Hassan Minhaj, the comedian?
Yeah.
I've heard the name.
Yes, he had his own Netflix show.
He has a Netflix show, The Patriot Act.
The Patriot Act,
Haven't seen it.
He was like a guest on the Daily Show.
Don't watch
he was a host for a while.
He was one of the correspondents.
Yeah. He's really good.
So, I believe it was this past week, he was the temporary host of the Daily Show.
Okay.
And one, he's fucking hilarious, and I could have watched The Daily Show all day because of how fucking funny he is. But he did a segment where it was initially talking about, like, education in schools, and he wanted to get a perspective on how the kids feel about what they're learning in schools. And so he sat down with there was like 6 children, and he was just asking them questions, right? First it was about school, then it started going into about a bunch of different things, like he was asking them like political questions or big topics, just to see like if they gave a shit at all. Right. And like when he was asking them, I expected to sit here and watch these kids know nothing about like half the shit he was talking about, have no opinion on anything. And these kids just started like spouting off like legit opinions on like the president and
like full sentences,
like celebrity and culture. And I'm just sitting here watching, and you can kind of see like the stunned expression on his face, like he was not expecting like such detailed answers. Like these are like 6th graders,
right?
Like yeah, I think they were like 3rd to 6th graders, like that range, and they had like legit, real, resolute opinions on shit. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I don't recall caring that much at that age about anything. Like they had like real opinions on like celebrities, and they were very like, for lack of a better term,
think they could have
educated
coached?
On like, maybe
like, hey, you're going to be interviewed,
thought,
or they chose the cream of the crop.
To them, it was almost like for a lot of them, it was like, hey, these are kind of like the opinions of my parents. Like that was kind of like the feel I got.
Coaching.
I just didn't expect them to be able to articulate those opinions so well.
I mean, to be fair, I also didn't expect to be dumber than a 5th grader.
No, I mean, there's that, yeah.
But every time I ever saw that show, I found out I was, in fact,
5th graders are fucking smart, bro. Some of those facts on there were crazy.
I'm telling you for a fact, some of the shit on that show I never learned.
They skipped a couple fucking modules with us.
So I think what it was potentially opening my mind to is like, because of technology and social media now, how much more
exposed,
educated, or exposed are children?
A lot
at this point. Like, well, it was kind of ridiculous because he was putting up some controversial fucking topics, and they had just like legit sound and reasonable opinions, right. And I was like,
well, not only that,
all right,
you're not wrong about social media and everything, but also this. Brett, how old were you when you got your first cell phone?
Fuck, I don't even remember. I'm fairly confident I was towards the end of middle school.
All right, so
probably in high school.
12, 13, 14, somewhere in there.
What?
Yeah.
Salo, how old were you?
I was like 18.
All right, I was like 11 or 12.
What?
Now, here's the thing. What? Oh, it's
Salo, you didn't have a fucking phone
until I was in
school together? Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
16?
Yeah.
16?
Bitch, I didn't meet you when you were 18.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just say
we went to high school together.
We'll say high
That's
school.
That's fair. So we'll say high school. All
right, I was
definitely
like 11 or 12. Now, keep in mind, for me, I was out a lot. I was, like, out on the streets until fucking lights out. So it was like my dad needed to be able to get a hold of me. But, Brett, for you and I who got our phones before we were adults,
I had to flip that bitch over.
Well, yeah, my first one was the Nokia block phone. It didn't have a flip function. It had a screen about as big as my fucking glasses lens right here, and then a bunch of buttons, and the only game it could play was Snake.
Yeah,
that was my first one.
I remember that game.
I had maybe 2, maybe 3 games on this phone. I didn't play them because
they drained the battery.
They sucked. They did drain the fucking battery, and you had to make sure your shit was on. Because if you're at like a teen center or something, or if you're like walking around with friends, if you did not pick up the phone,
you didn't have a phone.
Oh man, I didn't buy you a phone for you to not answer it.
Oh, dude, bro. Nah, for real. Salo don't know what we're talking about because by the time he got a phone, he bought it.
Yeah, I bought my own phone.
This man walked into Verizon wearing a suit by the time he got his phone.
All right, so
not too far off.
12-ish, 12, 13-ish, old man-ish. All right, so
had his beard.
Yeah.
It was bald.
So did I.
Hair falling out.
Nowadays, kids' first phones are iPhone 10s, and they're getting them when they're 8.
Basically 7? Web browsers, yeah. Little mini computers.
Let's not even count a phone. My little siblings, when they were like 4, had tablets.
Yeah.
They're infinitely more exposed than we were. When I was 12, I don't think I could have told you who the president was.
Yeah, I don't think I could have either, bro.
I don't think I was paying attention to the presidency until I was in high school and I was going to government class.
Yeah, I think mine was a history class.
Or no.
And it was during elections.
First time I ever paid attention to the presidency was Obama's election. His first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Me too. Me too.
Time I paid attention.
That's when
I knew beforehand. I had an idea because I kind of remember like Bush
at the end of Bush, yeah,
the end of Bush. I remember that, but like it was Obama's presidency run. The first
that's
time.
That's the one that's clear.
Was the first one. I kind of understood a little bit of what was happening and paid attention.
And that election was 2008. He went into office in January of 2009. 5 months later, I was in high school. So, like, that's the age I'm looking at for noticing the presidency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the age I'm looking at for having a cell phone that actually had internet.
And from what I saw from the video, he was asking, like...
8-year-olds?
Middle schoolers, late elementary schoolers. Like, hey, how do you think President Biden's doing in office? And they had actual opinions on it. And I'm like...
if you had asked me when I was 10, how do you think President Bush is doing? Who?
I mean, I'm still alive, so he's probably doing...
I guess he's okay.
I'm sure he's doing good. Yeah, I'm sure he's doing a good job.
Isn't that the guy that got a shoe thrown at him?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember the shoe. Yeah,
I remember the shoe mainly because
he's doing pretty good. He dodged it, right? He dodged it. He's doing good.
Dodge, yeah. I remember the shoe only because Eminem said he got a shoe-sinated. That's the only reason I remember.
A shoe-sinated?
Yeah. I remember Eminem saying that he got a shoe-sinated. And that's the only thing I really remember about. And the fact that he was just a bumbling nitwit. That's all I remember about Bush.
All I remember about Bush are those weird YouTube videos with his eye glitches. That's all I remember about Bush.
Man, you want to know why I remember most about Bush? Was Harold and Kumar.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Is it wrong? That's where my education came from. Okay. I was like, damn, Bush is a homie. That's what I learned.
But like, I mean, if I'm being honest, I wasn't paying attention to it that much. I don't remember too much from Obama's administration.
No, in the beginning, I mean, there was talk about like the fact that we had a black president, but like that was the most everything kind of leaked down to me. And then, hey, this was a monumental moment,
and then it was like
I stopped caring after that.
I remember there being some drama over whether or not he was actually born in America.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think I heard something about that.
Vaguely. All I really remember about Obama is that he went in looking like Denzel and came out looking like Morgan Freeman. Presidency aged that man hard.
It gets you.
But...
Yeah, when you look at that, you realize, like, how stressful that job
Like, it didn't do shit to Trump because he wasn't paying attention, and it hasn't done shit to Biden because he already looked like the Crypt Keeper.
I have no comment.
He does look like the Crypt Keeper, dog. He looked like the Crypt Keeper when he was fucking Obama's vice.
I'm done with you.
He's looked old as shit for 30 years.
I'm a move away from us talking about my commander-in-chief.
Hey, I'm not saying anything bad about him. I'm just spitting facts. He looked old.
So this could be an interesting question. All right. You know what? Just for comedic effect, let me ask you, Salo. Quick question. All right. Can infinity be bigger than infinity?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Hold on. Let me post.
You break. My brain is breaking.
If you were to count, right, like you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go infinity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can go infinity.
I'm with you.
Infinity. All right. Now, when you think about the space in between 1 and 2, right? You think about every single almost imaginary number that exists between 1 and 2. There's an infinity of those numbers. That's just between 1 and 2. So the infinity of numbers between the whole numbers that we know is bigger than the infinity of whole numbers.
So some infinities are bigger than others.
Some infinities are bigger than others.
Yes.
What the fuck? Okay. I learned something new today.
All right, now here's a different one. Salo, is 0 real?
Is 0 not a real number? I don't remember. I'm not smarter than a 5th grader, guys. I'm not. 0 a real number? No, it's not. That's my gut instinct. I could be horribly wrong.
It's not real.
It's not real. It's an absence.
It's the absence of something. Yes.
Can I ask you now something, Daniel? Can I ask you?
Sure.
Who's the longest reigning WWE championship of the modern era? Go.
Roman Reigns.
Really? I thought it was CM Punk.
CM Punk was like 434 days. Roman Reigns is past 900.
What?
And
That's
still
crazy.
counting.
Oof.
Roman Reigns. Then after that, it would have been Gunther or Walter. And then after that, it would have been Brock Lesnar. And then it would have been CM Punk.
Who was the first ever undisputed WWE championship? Go.
Undisputed WWE champion? Chris Jericho.
Correct.
He beat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin the same night in 2001.
Did you really show up with wrestling trivia?
I have more.
The first question was wrong.
Yes. Very wrong.
What else, Salo?
So, what's the name of the wrestling stable that included Randy Orton, Batista, and Triple H?
Evolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
It also included Ric Flair. But originally it wasn't supposed to include Batista. It was supposed to include Mark Jindrak.
Who was the first ever Royal Rumble match in 1988?
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I don't know why we're doing it. Do you not? Are you unaware of how trivia works with this man?
I was just trying the walls of Jericho over here just to see if...
The man of 1,001 holds.
Whew.
What else, Salo? I saw you had another one.
What was the original name of the WWE
stop.
developmental system before it changed to NXT?
FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling.
Yes. I wish we had like an applause button. Like, you know how those... Genius. I knew what I was getting into. I knew what I was getting into when I picked WWE, but I thought it would be fun. Let me see.
I don't think you did.
I knew what I was getting into.
Just
That's all of them.
I answer all your questions.
That's all of them. Every single one of them. Even the one I got wrong from my research. Okay. Holy shit.
Oh, that was funny. That was real random.
So I had another one for you guys. I brought something.
All right, what's up?
We kind of did this last time we were on the cast.
So out of left field, Brett. And Brett just got more and more upset because he's like, "Do you not understand how trivia works with this man?"
Like there was no clean segue into it. Honestly, I thought you were about to contribute to the conversation.
I did too.
And then he just starts talking about WWE. And
is the best part that it was so random, or is the best part that the first one was wrong, Brett?
The first one was wrong.
Like, where did you get your trivia from? Like,
2000.
You said you researched these questions. Like, did you only click links from 2007? Like, I don't understand.
They need to update their little something.
They need to they.
Anyways, moving on.
Okay. This man typed in trivia facts about the WWE
and click the second link.
Let me click this. Yeah,
from 2007.
Click the website that hasn't been updated since 2014. It's just like,
did you see his face when I knew the previous fucking developmental brand? He was like, "What? How do you know that?" That was my
last
ace in the hole.
That was my ace in the hole. I'm like, there's no way this developmental shit is something.
You should have stopped after the first question and he corrected you. The moment that happened, you should have been like, all right, cool. Hey, Brett, do you have any cool, interesting facts for us? Because I don't have any more.
The best part is Brett was answering some of them too.
like
evolution.
I need to breathe.
That was fun, Salo. You should play more of those next time.
I'll make them harder, I promise.
Okay, you gonna make them harder? All right, bet.
Did we not talk about the guy that popped into your stream that was like rattling off Hardy and wrestling facts?
I don't think we ever brought that up.
Because he thought he knew more than you. Did you not hear anything?
No, not at all.
So there was a dude. This was like early in my streaming tenure. Like I was still streaming from my PlayStation. I didn't have a camera yet. I was early, and this dude. God, what was his name? It was like Ultimate Hardy fan or something.
Yeah. That was his name. Yeah.
And he came in, and somehow we started talking about wrestling, and then he started trying to like quiz me on the Hardys because I think I made a joke. I'm like, I don't know, man. I was a pretty big Hardy fan, and he started like
turned into Stump to Chump.
And he lost bad.
Yeah, I know. I knew what I was getting into.
For several weeks afterwards, he would pop in every so often.
Yeah, he'd pop in like every 4 or 5 days and try and challenge me to a new question or set of questions. He was like, "What's Matt Hardy's middle name?" More. He'd be like,
So first he ran out of Hardy questions and was like, "All right, this guy knows more than me." Daniel was answering questions this dude didn't even have. Then he started going in like just wrestling questions in general. Start throwing stuff out there that he's like, "Oh, there's no way he knows this. There's no way he knows this." And there were times he put in information like you did with your first question that was wrong and got corrected. It was embarrassing to watch.
He said something like, "How many?" It was sad. I think the first time I corrected him was like, "How many world titles have the Hardys held?" And I'm like, I think it's like 6 for Jeff and 3 for Matt, and he's like, "Matt Hardy didn't hold any world titles," and I'm like, "Well, he held the TNA title twice, and he held the ECW title once, so that would be 3. Jeff Hardy held the WWE title once, the world title twice, the TNA title 3 times, so that would be 6. So I'm pretty sure I'm right on this one." It was so fucking great. That actually, I didn't even think about him, but this moment did feel like one of those moments, Brett. It kind of took me back. And you got to watch it from the side, just like the old days. Just feel embarrassed for the guy.
No.
All right, Salo, you said you had something else?
Oh.
I think, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
we're
going to go back to Conspiracy Corner here. I'm going to throw out a few crazy conspiracies, and you guys will tell me if there's any semblance of truth to them, yay or nay.
This is just opinion-based.
Yes, this is just opinion-based.
Okay.
So, the first one is, Princess Diana was assassinated by the British royal family.
Yes.
There's a shit ton of, like, evidence of that. Yeah.
Really?
There's a lot of,
like... This is no longer a conspiracy theory. This is a theory.
Yeah.
This is a working theory.
The only thing they don't have is the smoking gun.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
They're playing Clue, and they figured out the room, the person, and the weapon. They just gotta find the actual fingerprints.
What about Area 51 is hiding evidence of aliens?
Not anymore.
You think it used to be?
I think that rumor came from somewhere, but I think that after it became such a popular rumor, there's no way they would keep things there anymore.
Yeah.
The Denver International Airport has secret connections to the New World Order or the Illuminati.
Never heard that before.
Have you guys seen the Denver International Airport? Let me see. So it has...
I need you to understand something, Salo. I didn't know Denver had an airport. So, like, let alone...
I didn't either.
That they
I could have assumed they did. They're the biggest city in Colorado.
But I didn't know.
But I wasn't confident on that. I definitely didn't know it was the Denver International Airport.
Like, if you told me Denver didn't have an airport,
I'd believe you just as much.
Like, oh, all right, cool.
They have weird ass, like, in the Denver airport, they have weird ass pictures that just are very trippy, and people say, like, you know, conspiracy theories get going and keep saying there's, like, connections from the Illuminati or some sort of message from beyond. Just some crazy shit. And the thing about it is, like, you don't expect these kinds of drawings. Like, I'll show you the drawings in the chat right now. Just fucking crazy shit that doesn't make sense why it would be in the airport.
Drawings in the chat.
Pull up the Discord. Is that an undead Nazi?
Yes, it is.
What the fuck?
They have weird ass murals.
Is that an undead Nazi with a cutlass?
Yes.
What?
I don't think it's undead. I think it's wearing a gas mask.
Oh, there's a better one with children laying on top of it.
Wait, what? Huh? What?
Or like all like conjoining in one point towards the dead guy. I'll show it to you. It's crazy. But it's like these murals that they have at this Denver airport that people have conspiracy theories about because they're so wild.
This is very strange. I'm not going to lie and say it's not strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the Illuminati, but that is bizarre, yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Anywho, okay. Do you guys think the government is hiding evidence of time travel?
No.
Yay, nay, not yet. No. I think it's too early.
I'm sure they might be hiding the research of time travel.
Research, maybe.
Like
actual time travel, no. If time travel was real, we'd know about it already.
Do you think the Vatican is hiding evidence of aliens?
So.
No.
No?
No. I don't think the Vatican has any reason to.
We have a bunch of sealed files that people get conspiracy theory about because they can't read them. But I think it's old religious text, that's all.
I would assume if they have sealed files, it's probably more likely related to exorcisms than it is to
I didn't think about
aliens.
That. Yeah. Anyways, that was my conspiracy corner.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Vatican has artifacts that might suggest different origins and stories from what they have in religious texts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they hide stuff like that so people don't know the truth about what happened thousands and thousands of years ago.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
The narrative they wrote or something like that, yeah.
Speaking of thousands and thousands of years ago, have you guys heard about the scientist who discovered the 48,500-year-old zombie virus?
No, what the heck?
Have you heard about this, Brett?
Virus? Like actual virus? No, I have not heard about a virus. Right. I've heard a lot about fungus.
All right, so this guy is a scientist that works up in the Arctic, dealing with the permafrost that has been thawing because of global warming and everything like that, and has on multiple occasions found preserved portions of virus cells and has brought them back to life on amoeba. They can only survive on an amoeba host at the moment. But some of them act very zombie-like. They take over the host and then try and infect others.
Spooky.
And he has found multiple at this point that function that way, and has suggested that there is definitive reasoning to believe that as the permafrost continues to melt, more and more viruses could be released that could affect bigger and bigger hosts. Which would be bad.
It would be very bad. Isn't it interesting how the idea of zombies was just... It was so far in the realm of fantasy, right? The idea of zombies existing. And spawned from the idea of vampires more than anything
More or
else.
less, yeah.
Just to find out years later that there are things that exist that could bring that to reality.
Yeah. Not exactly the way that we expect, but yeah.
Spooky, man. That one parasite who can take over the ants and control it, that kind of shit, that's crazy.
Cordyceps.
Yeah.
Cordyceps.
Last of Us. The last episode was great. Episode 8 was great, by the way.
I
haven't watched it yet.
Not the only... Yeah, I have not seen the most recent episode. But it's not just cordyceps.
No, there are other fungi.
There's other ones that take over the host in different ways.
Mm-hmm. Some of them more...
And take over the bug,
more
different bugs
actively,
and stuff
some
like
of them
that.
more passively. Yeah.
I think they're... Oh, I'm going to be so upset if I don't remember this. I can't remember if it's a bug. It's got to be a fungus. Will infect a spider, right? Mm-hmm. And then what happens is the spider's mind kind of gets overridden, and they'll create a very particular type of webbing. And the webbing is designed to hold. I want to say it's a fungus, but it might be an insect. I really can't remember, but whatever creature or life form it is, it will set up a web in a very particular fashion.
I do remember hearing
for that thing to be to hatch. Yep. And if it's a fungus, for its spores to be released everywhere.
That's terrifying.
And it happens the same exact way every single time.
Yeah.
What the heck?
It's freaky. Yeah, I remember something about that. I don't remember specifically, but I do remember something vaguely.
That's scary.
I wish I remembered exactly what it was. But yeah, no, stuff like that is fucking wild.
So I've got a few more things that are all quick things that I can say that we won't lead to much discussion. But little tidbits that I either saw scrolling on TikTok or Facebook or whatever. Colombian man who is engaged to a ragdoll announces that she is pregnant.
Terrifying.
Make of that what
that entire sentence was terrifying. I do not want to go. I do not want to collect $100.
I have no comment.
Okay, cool. Here's another one that was one of the ones I said before we recorded, Salo, that I've got a couple things that you guys are just going to want to skip. Here's one. Saw this on TikTok. It was a young adult, probably 19 or 20, saying how something that would be really useful is if we created a phone that could stay at the house instead of belonging to one person specifically, so that if kids that don't have phones are home alone, or if a phone dies, someone at the house could still answer a phone call or make emergency phone calls.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that? Sounds like a shitty idea to me.
Yeah, I don't know why you would ever think that'd be a good idea.
Maybe what we should do is if we go with that, maybe we could put a cord and put it on the wall so that it can't get lost.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to lose your phone like you lose the TV remote.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm sure that would never be a thing people want to do.
Oh, here's a good one. Woman's ex-fiance threatened to sue her for ownership of the engagement ring, even though the engagement ring had been in her family for generations, because Alabama law says that engagement rings have to be returned to the man in the event of a separation. The ring was already her family's and was given to him to propose with by her mother. He possessed the ring for literally less than 24 hours.
That's unfortunate.
I couldn't find anything that says how the lawsuit has gone, but he did threaten to sue her for possession of a ring that belonged to her family.
That's fucked.
It's just dumb.
I agree.
Let's see. Dumb. A lot of these are also real short. Basketball player Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm really bad with his last name. Earlier this week or late last week, we were getting to the end of the game. There was 11 seconds left. He needed 2 rebounds to get a triple-double. For people that don't follow basketball, a triple-double is when you get double digits in 3 of the major 5 stats that they keep track of: scoring, assists, rebounds, blocks, and steals. So he had plus 10 in assists and plus 10 in points. He was at 8 in rebounds. Got a defensive rebound with 11 seconds left, dribbled down the court, saw the clock, saw no one was going to defend him. The game was pretty much over, so he looked up at the rim. He just kind of threw the ball at the rim and caught it again for an offensive rebound to give himself the triple-double. The next day, the board took it away from him, said it didn't count.
Wow.
Yep. Said it doesn't count because a rebound can only be made off of a shot at the goal And a shot at the goal only counts if the ball is sent up towards the goal with the intent of making it. They really, technical worded their way to take away his triple-double. I got 3 more little tidbits. Former TNT champion in AEW, Wardlow. He was the champion last week. He lost the title recently, though. He, on his way to one of their shows, had his rental car broken into, and the person that broke into his rental car stole all of his wrestling gear and his championship belt.
And his championship belt?
Yeah, just stole the belt. What are you going to do with it? You can't sell it.
Because it's unique and people would know you took it.
Exactly. You will get caught as the thief real fast.
I mean, that's if you wanted to sell it.
Why would you want it if you can't show it off? I don't know. It's just weird to me. Plus, if we're being honest, the TNT title's kind of ugly. If we're being honest. Found out that apparently the Dodgers let their ball boy of 15 years, he was just somebody that worked for the team, play in some of their televised training games back in 2020 because he was actually insanely talented. He tried out for the team and everything, didn't make the team or anything, but when they won the World Series that year, they actually gave him a player's ring instead of a staff ring.
Oh, that's a good little memento. He was part of the team.
Yeah. And the final little tidbit I have, which is kind of crazy, saw a video. There are numerous cases of drivers in Seattle that keep crashing at a freeway exit because the tight curve off of the exit goes through a tunnel, and it's such a sharp curve that they can't tell that they're coming up on an intersection right outside the tunnel. So they are zooming, going 50, 60, 40, 50, 60 through this curve, through this tunnel, and then they have 4 seconds to stop, or they're going to hit this intersection. And so they're just crashing into the sides, crashing into each other, crashing into the intersection. And apparently no one knows how to resolve this. And I don't know what to make of that. It's insane.
All right.
I feel like maybe signs.
More signs.
I imagine you would just put a light on the inside of the tunnel that makes you stop ahead of time.
It's hard to make somebody stop on like a curve like that, though, on a freeway exit. I don't know about putting a light on a freeway exit like that. That'll cause major backup.
Yeah.
I would say just put like a big neon sign in the tunnel that says traffic light immediately ahead.
It's a dangerous place to have a traffic light.
It's a very dangerous place to have a traffic light. Especially a busy intersection.
It doesn't sound like a hard thing to solve, though.
No, if you have a sign in the tunnel that says slow down, traffic intersection coming up, it feels like it's an easy solution. Lower the speed limit. But those were my little interesting side facts that I had found in the past couple weeks to share with you guys. Nothing quite as interesting as zombie viruses and the blackening, but...
The blackening, it's real.
It's just ridiculous is what it is.
I will say, music this year is going to be hot. So, NF and Hobson both dropped a new track this past couple days.
NF dropped 2 in the last couple weeks.
Fire.
I haven't heard the new Hobson one yet. I'll have to check that. But both the NF tracks, we gonna have problems. This year's gonna be saucy.
This is gonna
be saucy.
Good. It's gonna be saucy.
Good for music.
Good.
But that's all I got. You guys got anything else you want to add?
That's it.
No, I think it's a good time to wrap this up.
All right. Well, that's episode 30 in the books. We'll be back in 2 more weeks. And next episode, I'll go ahead and give you guys an update on how the charity stream went, since that's during our off week. Hopefully it goes well. I would tell you all that are listening to come hang out and spread the word, but by the time this goes live, the charity stream will have probably already ended. But for those of you visually watching, this will probably go live before the end of March. At the end of March, we're raffling off Sir Pippington. If you want to get raffle tickets.
Sir Pippington.
I'm going to sign them and send them to whoever wins, and I'll be doing that raffle on the last day of March. So this will probably go live before then. So if you're hearing this now and it's not the end of March yet, you can still get your raffle tickets for Sir Pippington. And it's for a good cause. It's for charity. That's what you would do with your $100 million, remember?
All three of us.
For hanging out with us. Yeah, all three of us. Thanks, Amber, for making us
Without question.
do certain things with our mummy that we didn't want to do. That's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you so much. As always, we are Beyond Us. I am Brett. That is Brett. That is Salo.
I am Daniel.
I'm also tired. I'm functioning on very little sleep. I am Brett. I'm Brett today, guys.
I'm Daniel.
All right.
If I didn't know better, Salo was giving the outro.
Please
tired.
like, subscribe, hit the bell,
hit
the ring, notify
with the wrestling trivia. He fried my brain out of nowhere. It was so random.
Whew. Be ready. Be prepared at any time. Bye.
Be prepared at any time. He said be prepared at any time like he's a fucking serial killer.